Bambi Francisco with Vader TV, the network for innovators. Well, on the web, consumers, particularly the younger generation, they're certainly learning how to take control of their lives, and they're learning how to be more transparent. But sometimes that's not all that great to be transparent on social networks, and from LinkedIn to Facebook to MySpace. So there is a way they can control their brand. And Brian Asher is here to talk about one company that can help you do that. Brian, thanks for joining us, and talk to us a little bit about how we can control our brands, if there is a way to do that.
Right. I think that more and more consumers are realizing that in today's online world or online life, when you go on an interview, you go have a business meeting with someone for the first time, or you go on a date, you're going to get Googled, and people are going to form a first impression of you before you even walk in the door based on what they find online.
Or Twittered these days.
Or Twittered, absolutely. And so more and more consumers are realizing that they need to be able to impact what shows up on Google and what they see. Nombre is a seed investment we've made that enables you to own your name on the web. Literally own your name in terms of acquiring a URL that represents you. So brianasher.com.
Do you have that one?
I do. And then for you to then actually very conveniently do something with that. So we all have profiles on Facebook and LinkedIn and elsewhere, and so you can have those appear as tabs because you already spent a lot of time investing in your profiles on these services, and then add other content about you, whether you blog or microblog or just other interesting things you've been reading, etc., interesting presentations you've given. So by doing all this under your own URL, this naturally rises to the top of Google rankings and can really, it can't suppress things that are out there on the web about you that you don't want people to see, but by showing up tops in the rankings, it puts a good first impression.
So you're making a bet people really want to take control, really will want to take control and have a crafted version of who they are.
I'm making a bet that more and more people realize that they are a brand, whether or not you're a CEO raising money, you're an individual employee, or you're out of work especially. You need to stand for something. You need to show prospects that you have worth, you're differentiated, you're smart and valuable, and they want to do business with you or hire you. So this is a theme that is both evidenced in Nombre and also another company we've done called SlideShare, which is YouTube for PowerPoint, which at first you'd think, come on, what do we really need a destination site for PowerPoint? But PowerPoint's really just a medium for rich self-expression, and it's amazing the growth rate they've experienced because it's a way for people to show what they know.
Right.
And it's a lot easier than blogging in a way because a PowerPoint can have a very long shelf life. For years, people were referring back to a great PowerPoint, whereas blogging you need to do on a daily or weekly basis.
How does that compare, SlideShare, right? How does it compare with DocStock, or what's the competitive advantage, and then what's the business model there?
Yeah, so SlideShare has really focused on the ability to come and search for great content in PowerPoint. DocStock, from what we know of them, has been more about many different document types. You might want to share an Excel spreadsheet that you built with a great model in it, or a template of a legal document. All those serve very different purposes than SlideShare, which has really been about self-expression and personal branding.
So
the business model is going to be lead gen, most likely, because there are lots of folks putting PowerPoints up because they want to be found. They're advertising people who want clients. They're a real estate person who wants prospects, etc.
What kind of metrics are you looking for in that company to show that they're having success?
Really two. Number of PowerPoints uploaded and then traffic. And actually, you asked me earlier about the Sequoia PowerPoint that went streaming around. We loved it. It was mostly distributed on SlideShare.
What's the model for Nombre?
Nombre's model is very simple. Consumers know that in order to have a personal domain, a URL, you pay for it. And so for Nombre, you just pay per year to have the domain, and then the service enables you to do something interesting with it.
So they're working with GoDaddy or some of these other
services? They
services?
have a wholesale agreement with one of the registrars.
So you go to Nombre, register your name through them.
Yes.
They offer all these other services.
Right.
And then they pay. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good luck with those two.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. I've been speaking with Brian Asher. He's a venture capitalist at Venrock, and I'm Bambi Francisco.